Gonna do some suspension work. I already got started and started screwing things up already. Taking the brake caliper off, I wasn't thinking and started turning the bolts counterclockwise. Except I'm looking at the back of the bolt. So I actually was turning it clockwise. If you can't tell from the background noise, it's 4th of July weekend. Yeah, I'm in one of those states where fireworks are illegal. You see how well that works. So, that being said, we need to get the axle nut bolt off. I have the intact ready, and I want to just talk to you about my plan of action. So, we have to get this ball joint off the upper control arm up here, and we got another lower control arm here. Plan A, I have this little tool here. You may know it. It's probably not going to work. I actually came up with a plan this time. Plan B, I got a variety of these things here, and they go on this thing here, which is an air hammer. Again, I'm guessing probably won't work. We'll give it a try anyways. Now plan C would be to hit this with a sledgehammer right about here. Let me get the camera up just a little bit. There we go. Right about here, right next to where the knuckle goes. However, this part right here, this is cast aluminum. I can't hit that with a sledgehammer. I thought about just replacing the whole part. It's a $400 part, so we want to try to save that cast aluminum. That said, plan C has already failed, so we won't be doing that. I haven't quite worked out, I'm working on a plan D, which is to basically, again, sledgehammer, but instead taking this upper control arm off from the back bolts. Maybe I can get things swung down that I can start pounding on things to get to the bottom of these bolts so I can actually pound these suckers out. But that's a plan D. So if plan A fails, more than likely, plan B fails, also likely, plan C already dead, so we are probably going to end up having to run into plan D. However, by that time there may be daylight because I probably won't go all night with this because I'm going to have to make some noise with the impact of the compressor, and I don't want to be keeping the neighbors up all night and ruining their fireworks displays. So, let's get this axle nut off. Which, fun fact, the axle nut, this axle nut's the same socket size and the Dodge 3rd Gen Dodge Ram as it is on a 2005 GMC Envoy. I would imagine the Trailblazer as well. Good, my head's in the way. Alright, looks like I should have made a plan for the axle nut bolt. So now, according to the instructions, I'm supposed to take that and replace it. I don't know where to get a replacement for it. So we'll just reuse that one. Comes the fun part. Yep, failure. Son of a gun, that worked! I was not expecting that one. Holy cow. So I already loosened this. And, yeah, I probably should get the shock off, too. I already loosened that bolt. You want to leave it on so when it pops, it just doesn't pop completely apart. Alright, so I think the tie rod end on this side has been replaced before for some weird reason. It's got a crown nut on it with a pin, which I believe on the other side it didn't have it. It was just a solid nut like this. And it had a grease fitting in it as well. I think my dad reminded me at one point in time that he had just saw the grease fitting there and stuck it in there. He saw the hole for it and stuck one in there. But this is not the same kind of nut that was on the other side. So we gotta get that loosened up too, because we're gonna replace the tie rod end with everything else. Okay, so the camera battery died. I have to get this done, so I just kept working on it. This bottom one here, what I ended up doing was driving my little air hammer wedge in there, got it stuck, and I couldn't get it out. So I took the really big hammer. You know, remember folks, you don't want to force it. You always want to get a bigger hammer. So I took the big hammer. I didn't have enough room to go at it this way from the bottom up, so I went this way with it on its side, as opposed to like that. I went like that, and I was able to knock it loose. So now this is loose. The only thing that's holding it on is the bolt, which should be on there fairly loose. And yeah, I'm hoping that I can use a ratchet to get that off. Although I might be able to get the impact in on this one if I need to. I pulled this one all the way off. Try to get as loose as possible. And yeah, it's spinning. Like not in a good. Oh, here we go. So that being said, this is loose down in the middle here with the hub. One of the issues is this has a bad wheel bearing on top of a bad. I can't think of the name of this right now. But, you know, the ball joint over here. And the one on the bottom is probably bad too. As long as I got to take this off to take the wheel bearing, I might as well just go ahead and replace them all. I ordered all the parts. I also ordered a new tie rod for it. So this is ready to, come on. This is ready to be a bigger pain in the butt. Oh, something just happened there. Oh! Success! Alright, I'm going to take this into the shop for the next step. I got better light. Although I don't know if I'm going to get to this tonight. I got a lot of stuff to do. I got to get gas in the other car because tomorrow we got to get to church. We have to go to a parade, and then we got fireworks in the evening. So I have to figure out how I'm going to do all that and get this bad boy back together. I did get a new toy, or I mean tool. Yeah, that's what I mean, tool. And I'm really excited because this is the exact job that I got it for. After I did, so I'm going to make a little confession. I've already done the passenger side. If it makes it look like I know what I'm doing, that's why. I had to take these bolts off here in order to get it down because that wasn't coming off with plan A or B. I even tried a little bit of a C without, you know, trying to, so I wouldn't damage I couldn't hit it too hard. Yeah, plan D was what did it. I was able to get this down off here. I was able to get the tie rod end came off fairly easy. So I was able to bend this down and be able to smack this with the hammer, the sledgehammer, to get that loose. And then this whole part came off together. And then once it was off, I was able to hammer. It was like a mortar or something. I was able to hammer this on the ground and be able to hit the bottom of the ball joint here. So that's how I did it the last time. This time it came off a little easy. Plan B with the air hammer and the proper fittings actually worked. I'll tell you, the passenger side was in a lot worse shape. It was hanging lower than the driver's side until I got it fixed. Hey, somebody's driving down my street. And, see, nope, they didn't shine me. So, yeah, where was I? Before I got disrupted by my neighbors. Oh, yeah, so I got this off, hammered it down, and was able to get that upper tie rod off. And then I just couldn't get the hub off, so I took it into a local shop. They pressed it off for $125, which urged me to spend $200 on my new toy. I mean tool. Tool, yes. My new tool. So I'm going to go take this in the shop, and, well, next time you see me, we'll be in the shop. Well, here it is. The new toy, I mean tool. The 20-ton shop press. I got some sad news. So, while the camera was charging, I went and I decided to loosen the bolts off the back of the hub. And I got the hub out. Now, after I took the bolts out, I didn't use the shop press. Spent all this money for this particular job with the shop press so I can press that out. And I didn't even use it. Instead, I ended up using this. Got the bolts out, kind of put some lube on it. I was like, well, maybe I can pound on it a little bit, loosen up the rust. Pounded on it. I was like, looked like it moved. I don't believe it. Hit it again. Looked like it moved again. I still don't believe it. Hit it again. It looked like it moved some more. I bet you it gets stuck at some point in time. Hit it again. Boom. Thing popped right out. Didn't even get a chance to use the new shop press. The new toy, tool. Nope. I did it with this. A Popular Mechanics hammer. This was like a Walmart special. It's old claw hammer. I'm a little upset. Not gonna lie. Just a little upset. I really was looking forward to using this. I know if you had the opportunity to be here, what you would do, you would pull me in, rest my head on your shoulder, pat my back and be like, there, Mike. You really did dodge a bullet with that one. You did. I know it's upsetting you didn't get to use the shop press, but you dodged a huge bullet because it came out so easy. And it's okay. You'll have other opportunities to use the shop press. Chances are if you didn't have the shop press, it probably would have been a real big pain in the butt to get out anyways. And there's other cool things you can do with the shop press, like, I don't know, crush watermelons with it or something. You just perked me up. That's not a bad idea. I'm going to go head over and get something out of the refrigerator. Within the next step of this is going to be to clean up all this corrosion in here. I'm going to hit it with some brake clean, wipe it out, get all the grease or whatever that might be in there. And then I'm going to take some sandpaper and really clean off all the corrosion and everything. Get in here, get on the outside here, get on the inside here. Just try to clean everything up so everything goes back smoothly. Now, when doing this, you don't have to get crazy. You don't have to use the 3200 grit sandpaper, the 6200 grit sandpaper. Some 200 grit should do it. We're not going to be painting it. It's just trying to get the corrosion out. You don't want to use too coarse because it gives a lot of little pits that the corrosion can actually sit into. But you do want to use something. You don't need to go nuts with how fine it is because we don't need it to be as smooth as a baby's butt. We just need it to be smooth. We're going to goop it up with some really good stuff. I got some Never Cease we're going to throw in there. So if we ever have to take care of this wheel bearing again, it should come out, well, with a Popular Mechanics hammer. So, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do that without you because it's kind of boring stuff and I don't even want to see it being done, but I'm the one that has to do it. So, that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and clean this up, and the next time you see it, it'll be nice and shiny. Nice mirror finish. Okay, maybe not a mirror finish, but it'll definitely be cleaned up. And we can go ahead and get the new wheel hub in it after that's done. I'm actually way ahead of schedule. In one evening, I managed to get 5 days worth of work done. So hopefully I won't have to go old school again and tow the trailer with my Envoy. If you've followed me on Instagram, you may have seen that picture of me kicking it old school. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, you can find me at This Old Relic on Instagram. And yeah, you can find me there. Or if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like it. If you don't like this video, I don't care. Still subscribe to the channel. I need you to subscribe. Plain and simple. So we got the hub all cleaned up. Went to the 4th of July parade earlier today. Before we head out to church, I want to try to get some more work done on this. We still don't have everything apart, so I'm still not exactly ready to breathe a sigh of relief, but we're almost there. So we have the lower ball joint. I found out, even with the fancy tools they sell at Harbor Freight, the best tool to use, really big hammer. So, and remember, don't force it. Always get a bigger hammer. So we're just going to pound out this lower ball joint here. Here we go. Lower ball joint out. Now it's time to get this upper tie rod out. With that, I've been experimenting, trying to figure that out, but we're going to go to the brand new trusty air ratchet. Go get my air hose. Really get the impact in there. Whoa. Okay, plan 2, breaker bar. If I don't break it, I'll go get a ratchet. A little penetrating fluid might help a little. We got the nuts off. That came out pretty easy. Now I need to remember, I need the nuts facing towards the front of the vehicle, the bolts towards the back. Not this one, but the new one. And that's really what we need to replace, but we're not pulling that out. We're just going to replace the whole thing. Comes with a new one. All we got to do is go down here, be able to get the tie rod end off, and we should be good to go. I'm going to prep that for removal. But I gotta go do my next task for the day. When I get back, we'll do some more work.